This is for my next project. It's a ventilation system. Some of these parts I bought, and then some of them I had left over from other projects, like this here. That's half a garage spring. This was from a dumpster dive, you know. I just saw it and I thought, I can use that. That I've had for like 20 plus years. I'm gonna use this stuff here. Same thing with this. This was blowing across the road in the wind, and I had leftover stuff from a dryer. This is, again, another piece from my hood that I put in the kitchen. I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a little trial and error. Well, wish me luck. This is what I came up with. That's the mounting bracket for the wall. There's that spring that's in that tube. That was from a different project. And then I got rigid 4-inch, and then I'll have this flex line here, and it'll go to 6-inch. So this will have a cable that'll connect to that roller, which will connect to that. So I'm hoping it'll fold here, and then this eye hook can do some adjustments with that. Yeah, so that's what I got going on right now. Stick with me, I think it'll work. This all thread here is for adjustability. Right now it's pretty balanced. If you can see that, it's pretty balanced. But as I put the ductwork on, and I still got another piece I got to put on the front, I'm going to need to tighten this up more for adjustability. And there's the garage door spring. I had that tube on there, but the tube was kind of causing drag, which now that I'm thinking about it, might have been okay because it kind of bounces. As I lift it up, this will slide back because it's on that roller or set of bearings. And then this part will pivot. Let me see if I can do that right now. That's about it right there, I guess. It's gonna be kind of in the way. Huh, I'll just swing it over that way. I guess when I'm not using it, it'll be over there. I mean, maybe if I tighten it some more, I can get it higher. But then I don't want to be too tight to where it's up in the air and I can't get it down, you know? All right, let's walk through from the beginning. This is a plug that I'm going to use when I'm not using it, and that goes outside. I don't know if you've seen my pole barn build, but I thought I was going to run my gas line through this pipe because I was trying to minimize holes in the building, but instead I had to do it a different way. So that left me the opportunity to do what I just did with this. When I'm in use, I'll just plug this in there. And then I got it plugged into this speed controller in case I'm TIG welding and I need to turn it down because I want to make sure the shielding gas doesn't cause a draft. Most of the time this will be all the way up. And then that's the 20-year-old blower, been sitting on my shelf forever. And of course my dumpster dive tubing there, or ductwork. You can see it coming up the top here. There's my little 90 from a dryer outlet. Let me get up there so you can see the top part. Here's the top side. There's that hinge piece. And then I doubled up on the cables. There's my adjusting rod. And I doubled up on the cables because I ended up having to add another garage door spring, or the other half. I can't remember what they're rated at. They're either 160 or 140. I've had those for probably 10 years plus. I'm gonna run one of these cables probably through the spring. Like that. And then mount it to where it's mounted over there. So in case they break, at least there'll be some sort of safety. But you know, there's always room for improvement. Here's my brackets standoff, because this is 6-inch and that's 4-inch. It could be changed to a 6-inch all the way through, but I'm just going with what I have and seeing how it works. At this point, none of this stuff cost me anything except for this and this piece. You know, a lot of this stuff was scrap or leftovers. That's usually how I roll. I try to reuse things. I think you got the gist of it. I tried to put this diffuser in there to see if it would increase the movement of the air. I'm gonna have to take it out and see if I could test it again. I took that diffuser out. I don't know if you could see the smoke was, I don't know, it seemed like it was kind of like not moving as fast. I thought the diffuser was going to increase the velocity of the air, but it seems like it might have restricted it, but I have to look back when I'm editing to see how that worked out. This is without the diffuser, and looking back, it looks better without, so I'm going to leave it like this. I just want to say that the idea in my mind kind of looked like this, but in the end, you know, reality hit and it looks like that now. The main thing is it works, so I'm not too worried about what it looks like. Let me show you what it does. It can swing all the way to the wall and all the way back this way. And I made it to where it kind of telescopes out so it can reach a little further. When I'm not using it, I can fold it up like this. Just saw my first problem. I made that piece too short over here. I don't know if you can see that, but that just ripped off. It's always something. Let me get back to you. Okay, let's try that again. Put a longer piece over there. I can extend this out like this. I got this pin up here, That way I can extend it all the way over here. The tip of this right here is 10 feet, so about 11 feet. I could adjust it and lift it up higher, but I think when I'm sitting down welding, it'll probably be in just the right spot. Obviously, you saw that part where I put this rubber piece here. So when you're bald like me, any sharp little thing right here would cut, you know, but here I got this, I took these parts off of an old snowblower that doesn't run anymore. It's basically for the handle so you could fold it. You can unloosen this. If you have a piece of work piece that's over here, or over here, or over here, you can kind of turn it like that and lock it in, you know, with the handle. Whoops. How come it didn't lock in there? I gotta tighten some bolts up here. It still needs some fine tuning, but you get the idea. So I could actually go all the way over here. I don't know if you can see me. And then all the way almost to the door. All right, that angle's better. So I could go almost all the way to the door here. And almost all the way to my toolbox. All right, I need my pin. And then when I'm not using it, I slide this back, put my pin in, and then lift it up like that. Oh, and then here's the hook. And I got it hooked against the wall, so I'll just unhook it from there. And there's my pin. I marked it, so now I know where to put it when I'm storing it. So that's in the storage position. Yeah, it's not in the way at all. Well, that's another project down. So thanks for watching and keep it on the sunny side.